Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid and its 6-speaker bass audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments and controls, speaker locations, then we're going to head out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And I recommend listening with headphones so you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. This is the Woodland edition of the RAV4 Hybrid. So we're rocking bronze wheels, some roof rails, some all-terrain tires, and of course, the hybrid powertrain. I've been quite a fan of driving this thing around, but I do have to admit it is a little bit pricey compared to what you can get from some competitors. So if you do want to see more on the RAV4 or the RAV4 Woodland Edition here, check the link in the description. We've got a dedicated review of this updated infotainment system. We've got kind of a botched fuel economy test, a normal review, all sorts of things to check out. Now we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, just as the audio engineers intended. So let's take a look at those now. There are two screen sizes for the RAV4. You've got this 8-inch and then the 10.5-inch on the upper trims. Like I said, if you do want to see more of an in-depth review on this new system, check the link in the description for that. But we're going to head straight down here to the settings screen, scroll down and get to sound and media, which I gotta admit is a few too many steps to be safe while you're driving. I would prefer being able to access your EQ right from the media screen, but you do have a few clicks to get to that. First here in levels, you've got auto sound levelizer. This is going to make it so as you get driving faster and you got to make up for the road noise from these all-terrain tires and the wind noise and everything like that, the audio levels will lift up, so we're going to leave that on low. Then you have some volume adjustments here for the system, so we want to go down to sound tuning. There we're greeted with treble, mid-range, and bass. Let's go through those. I also have to say, it's not too difficult to adjust these while static, but when you're driving, again, these are very small and very precise adjustments for the system. So say I'm driving along on the highway and I'm like, man, this song doesn't sound very good with this much mid-range, I want to dial it back a little bit. You got to really be precise with where you're grabbing, and if you just want to bring it down a little bit, it takes some finesse. I wish those were bigger controls there. Below that, you have adjustments for front, rear, left, right, balance, and fader. You can sort of move the sound around. You can either grab that dot and move it around like that, or simply press these buttons. If you want it back in the center, press recenter. And that is it for audio adjustments. For controls here in the RAV4, you've got a volume knob right here. It's kind of grippy, no clicks, but easy adjustments there. You also have volume on the left side of the steering wheel. For track selection, no physical controls up here in the touchscreen area. Even though there's plenty of room here with the 8-inch screen, they decided not to fit any. So if your passenger wants to change the track, they're going to have to leave your navigation and go over here and press the screen. But the driver at least has a physical control here on the right side of the wheel. For audio inputs in the RAV4, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, USB-A port down there. You've got two USB-Cs for charging in the back, wireless and wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, and something we don't see too frequently, built-in streaming services, Apple Music and Amazon Music. Now, obviously, some of you are going to be wanting things like Spotify, Pandora, and Tidal, but Toyota might be able to add those via over-the-air updates in the future. But for right now, this is what you've got. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 6-speaker system. Seems simple, but they've utilized these speakers pretty well. Down here, you've got a mid-range-ish woofer there in the door, 1, 2 tweeter, 3, 4 over on the other side, and then 5, 6 in the door back there. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff put away and we're gonna head out on the road. The accuracy in a more complex song like this is not fantastic, I'll admit. But when given the restriction of only dealing with 6 speakers, I think the sound engineers for this car did a really smart job. They focused on nice, high, crispy high sounds, trebles, and that sort of thing. And then a decently satisfying low end. I'm getting a lot of that bass guitar coming through in the bass drum, and I'm pretty impressed. I honestly, when I was first testing this system, I'm like, are we sure the subwoofer's not back there, doing a lot of work and everything like that? Because the door woofers really are doing a good job filling in there. That being said, yeah, when you turn up a more complex song like this, you are missing some of that satisfying middle, but I don't think you can be too surprised for a bass system. But we're going to test out how the bass really comes through when we turn it all the way up here in this song. Okay, there's the distortion we were expecting. But I am getting some mirror shakeage. Not fantastic, but also not too terribly surprising. Bass is still pretty satisfying right there. It's a very full sound. It's coming through the cabin nicely. My thoughts on the bass sound system here in the RAV4 Hybrid. Admittedly, in this woodland trim, you're getting more road noise and a little bit more wind noise from those roof rails up above, so that's hampering the sound system a little bit. But I've been listening to this all throughout the week, and it's a decently strong system. I'd go as far as to say it's one of the best 6-speaker sound systems I've heard in this class. And I'm not too surprised because the RAV4's JBL is actually one of the best in its class as well for an upgraded sound system. But I really wasn't expecting to be decently impressed with the sound coming out of this car. But for only working with 6 speakers, it's going to be getting the highest C rating I can give it. I don't think it's deserving of B just because at a B-type system I should really be enjoying the music, the more complex songs starting to be, kind of eyebrow raised, impressed, and then A is like, wow, this sounds great, and S is, this is one of the best systems I've ever heard. But a C is still a really strong rating, and for a bass system that you'd get even in your most basic RAV4 hybrid, I would rather listen to this than a lot of the other bass systems that I've tested. So really quite good. Nice job, Toyota. I'm happy with it. If you do want to see more on how this updated infotainment system works, take a look at the link in the description. We'll have that listed there. as well as our fuel economy test and our review. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.